Hey guys, welcome to the Week 17 report. We got a lot to get into. We have an active insight towards the end, right before the final notes with the owner of Team Lobster, Noah. But before we get into that, we have a lot to go through: the news, scores, standings, and yada yada. Big week, All-Star game, and the weekend festivities were this past weekend. So it was a shortened week for scoring in the fantasy league, but we still had some impactful games and some surprising games. So let's get into it. We'll start with the All-Star game, where Damian Lillard won the All-Star game MVP and the 3-point contest, and we also saw Stephen Curry win that challenge, and then we saw this video of Jaylen Brown dunking over, for you Skibbity Toilet fans, Kai Cenat. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to see this because, I don't think it's as hype now. I mean, we've seen... Oh, he fucking missed it. I didn't even see this. This is me live watching this. Didn't even realize he missed it. That makes it even less hype. But, I feel like we've seen people jump over shit. Not millions, but a lot now for dunk contests. So come on, I kind of want to see something more. We saw Mac McClung. I think he went ahead and won the dunk contest because he was actually playing. His contract's not as big as these players like Jaylen Brown, and even Jaime Jaquez, I think, was doing it. Jaime Jaquez is making $3 million, and to him, that's it's not as important to win this dunk contest as it is for Mac McClung, who's making maybe 100,000. So there was that. There more incentives, make a better dunk contest. I just want to see something more innovative, I guess. Stuff like that is just boring. But for you Skibbity Toilet fans and I guess Phantom Tax Rizzlers or whatever you want to call yourselves, that was kind of cool. But moving on from the All-Star game weekend, we had a lot of trades go down, this being the trade deadline week. At the end of week 18, there's no more trades. So in our first trade, notable trade, we had Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker being traded from Web Warrior to Riley, the Fraggle Rock 9, who also got 2 of the redraft picks on each side, 2025 second round and third round pick swaps. Web Warrior got Domantas Sabonis, who's an absolute automatic triple-double machine. Big pickup. Mark Williams, who could be, really good in the future. And Jalen Williams, who's, a good prospect. This is now, in the near future, definitely leaning towards Riley. You get immediate impact. You're losing Sabonis, but you're getting 3 guys that can put up 30 fantasy points a night on the most. The only worry is that they're older, more injury prone. But in my opinion, I think Riley definitely won. Definitely a good trade on Riley's end. And, we see Web Warrior building for the future, centered around Domantas Sabonis. He's picking up guys that are gonna make him the star of the team. On to our next trade. We got Web Warrior still in the spotlight, getting PJ Washington, Walker Kessler, and Bilal Coulibaly from the Void for CJ McCollum and Malcolm Brogdon. A pretty good trade. And Web Warrior gets a 2024 second round picks from the Void and Steve-O. So we'll see how those second round picks go. But overall, I know Web Warrior has been eyeing PJ Washington for a while, and he finally got him. And he's got an absolute stud in Walker Kessler. And on the other side of the trade, CJ McCollum and Malcolm Brogdon are going to bring immediate impacts for the Void. So we'll see how this goes for the playoff run, but it's an interesting week for sure. Definitely leaning towards Team Void for this trade on the win, but in the future it could easily flip with Walker Kessler going to be a big man, if you know what I mean. Now on to the third trade that's happened so far, and there's plenty more going to happen. We got a trade between the Mog Squad and I Could Go for a Beer. The Mog Squad receives Jaylen Brown and a 2024 first round pick for Tyus Jones and Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray's been phenomenal. He's young. And Tyus Jones has been a bucket. He's the same age as Jaylen Brown, surprisingly. When I first saw this, I was like, Jaylen Brown's 27 years old? No way. But I think this is a pretty even trade. Two contenders making a big move. They're only standing away from each other, so we'll see how this will play out. I don't see a clear-cut winner. I mean, names-wise, you got to say Slaw, but I mean, you get two good players for one star, not superstar, but star. But hopefully, you don't think I forgot. Tyus Jones wasn't on the Mog Squad the last time we talked about this. There's a trade earlier in the week that I forgot to report on. Steve-O traded Tyus Jones and a 2026 third-round pick for Markelle Fultz and a 2024 second-round pick. Pretty decent trade. Steve-O's definitely betting on Markelle here, but I would give this as a dub for the Mog Squad. Tyus Jones has been proven all season for a really trash Wizards team, which you would think they would give more minutes to some of their prospects, but it seems like they're riding out on Tyus Jones. I don't know. All right. That's all the trades so far. 1 second. Wow, I'm hearing reports. Reportedly, the Codfather, the Void, and the Striped Pajamas were in talks within a three-team trade that involved the likes of Tyrese Maxey, De'Aaron Fox, and Keldon Johnson, but trade talks fell through, so we'll have to see if those get picked up again, but absolutely would have been a major trade. Definitely interesting to hear what develops from that. Okay, now I think we're ready to move on to our scoring, our games of the week. Team Army Jr. played Team Web Warrior in a decently close game. Team Web Warrior had 4 top picks, but they both had 3 worst picks. Absolutely crushing for Team Army Jr. You're in danger of losing your playoff spot, as we'll get into later. Team Web Warrior goes up to 6-11, and Team Army Jr. falls to 9-8. Moving on, Steve-O versus Lecanto Embers. Lecanto Embers won in an important game for Steve-O. Steve-O, wanting to win this game to further solidify a spot, but losing this game puts everything in question. Both of them having 4 top picks and 3 worst picks, it could have been a toss-up, but Lecanto Embers performed and now move up to 6-11, and Steve-O's now 8-9. Moving on to the Void playing Team Belushio in another staple game that could have major playoff implications. Team Belushio played a decent week at 195 points. It could have won, but as we've seen throughout the year, 200 is the mark where you really have a shot to win the week. The Void put up a second best in the week, 249 points, bring them to 10-7. Team Belushio is now 7-10, but they're right behind Steve-O for a playoff spot. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Moving on to Team Lobster versus Team Zomt. Close game. I mean, this is honestly way too close for a team that's second overall in the league to be playing a team that's tanking. And as we'll see later, not even in the States. But we're not sure. I don't know where they are. But to only win by 31 with them having only Jaren Jackson as their only true star playing, that's kind of scary to see. It was a shortened week, so we'll see if and maybe it was just a fluke of a week, but would have been major for the Striped Pajamas if Team Zomt lost this week. Moving on to the game of the week, potentially the game of the year. The Fraggle Rock 9 lost for the first time to the Striped Pajamas by a handily 22 points, and it was a show to see. Any fan that went to see the game in the stadium was mightily impressed with the Fraggle Rock 9 having 7 top picks, best out of anybody in the week. Only 1 worst pick, but it wasn't enough to the Striped Pajamas 6 top picks with 3 worst picks. Honestly, absolutely insane. The Striped Pajamas, in the likeness of Jason Tatum, everybody performed. Everybody got the job done to give the Fraggle Rock 9 their first loss of the season. Now, moving on to the Mog Squad playing Pack Nicely. Pack Nicely continues to slip as they lose by 60 points. They haven't picked their games this week, which, semi-explains it. But the Mog Squad did not have a good week. 2 top picks and 6 worst picks. Oof. 6 worst picks being the worst in the week. But still, with 6 worst picks, you still scored almost 200 points. That's pretty impressive. So, it's still scary. He's a person to be scared of come playoff time. Now moving on to another, game of the week. The Codfather beat I Could Go For a Beer by, a metric shit ton in the Codfather standards. With only 6 top picks, they won by almost 90 points. As I Could Go For a Beer, who's fighting for a better playoff position. This is low key embarrassing, and you just hate to see it. And with 3 top picks and 4 worst picks, it's just not good. It's just not good enough. As I'm thinking about it, these top and worst picks are a little bit skewed this week. For many, there's either only 1 option or 2 options to pick from, and the very few had 3 because of the shortened week due to All-Star Weekend, and that will be the same for next week. For week 18. But that is going to wrap it up for scoring. Let's move on to our free agents of the week. We have Isaiah Stewart, Duncan Robinson, and Andrew Nembhard. And actually, that is not Isaiah Stewart. I'm going to leave it in the video because I'm a fuckface, but that's Isaiah Jackson, I'm pretty sure. Let me, live fact check this. We'll keep moving on, but Duncan Robinson played really well this week. The Heat, needed him. These are your top free agents. Honestly, if it were me, I'd be skeptical to pick any of these guys up. Maybe Andrew Nembhard. He's a up and coming rookie, but we'll have to see how that works out. Oh wow, a trade is now pending. Reporting live, multiple trades are pending. We have Oh my God, we had 3 trades happen in the last 5 minutes. We have the Codfather and Team Web Warrior trading Brandon Miller, a 2025 first and a 2025 third round pick for Keldon Johnson and LaMelo Ball. Oh my gosh. We'll have to see if that gets vetoed, but that looks like a pretty, that's a pretty fair trade. That's impressive. That I think Team Web Warrior wins this trade, getting LaMelo and Keldon for... actually it's pretty even. Those 2025 picks, they might be very important. And the Codfather wasn't done dealing there. He did a trade trading Tyrese Maxey in a 2025 second round. That is the redraft, folks, for De'Aaron Fox and a 2024 first round pick. Absolutely insane. That's gonna be the trade that we'll be looking back on to see how that plays out. I think maybe both teams even win this one. And finally, the Mog Squad traded with Lecanto Embers, Vucevic, the Mog Squad. Sorry, I'm so excited. The Mog Squad gets Vucevic for Pascal Siakam and a 2025 second round pick. Wow, absolutely insane. And there could be even more this week. I think low key, Lecanto Embers had a solid trade, getting Siakam and a 2025 second round pick. That might be huge, especially since Vooch is on Chicago, and Chicago fucking sucks at building teams around their stars. Wow, that's absolutely insane. Let's move on though to the best players of the week. We got the Fraggle Rock 9, their last game with Domantas Sabonis scoring 63.75 points. He scored against the Suns, putting up a monster triple-double with 35 points, 18 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal and 3 blocks with a ±5. Absolutely monster game. And what he is doing is just leading the Kings all the way to the playoffs, maybe even to a conference championship. Now, on to Jason Tatum, who also had a monster game, a 41-point game with 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and a ±21, resulting in 54.75 fantasy points. A solid week. Definitely helped the Straight Pajamas beat the Fraggle Rock 9 this week. And it's also surprising to see the Fraggle Rock 9 have a 64-point game from a player and still lose by 20 points. Absolutely wild. Now, moving on to these important standings, we're going to start with our playoff teams. Fraggle Rock 9 now 61. Looks like they're going to have the 1 seed as long as they win one more game, or if Team Zom loses one more. Team Zom, still in second, is in danger of losing second to the Striped Pajamas. They might need to pick up the pace a little bit. Striped Pajamas are moving fast on this 3-game win streak. Now, the Mog Squad, the Void, and I Could Go For A Beer are all 10-7, with the Void having a 4-game win streak coming up in the standings. The I Could Go For A Beer fell 2 standings because of the points for category. Might prove important towards the later end of the stretch. Every point matters at this point. Now, to wrap up the playoffs, we have Team Army Junior, who's steadily falling through these playoff spots. At 7th place at 9-8 on a 4-game losing streak. It is imperative to win at least 1 or 2 more with the competition heating up. And in 8th, we have Steve-O at 8-9, who's also falling a bit, but I could see them turning around. Now for our non-playoff teams, we have honestly 1 real playoff contender, maybe 2 behind him. But Team Belushi at 7-10, losing this week sucked, but they have a real solid chance of making the playoffs with 3 games to go. He can overtake Aiden in the next couple of weeks. They both play Team Lobster, which is a free win. And, and I heard Team Belushi's playing Pack Nicely, which is also kind of a free win. So there's a good shot. And there's an even decent, better, I don't know if I'll say better, but there's a good shot he goes and overtakes Team Army Junior. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Now, and for 10th and 11th, at 6 and 11, the Lecanto Embers and Team Web War are not out of the picture yet. 3 games left. 2 games out of 8th place. There's still a chance. There's still a decent chance, and I'd like to see how the season plays out, because they have to win out, but if they do, they have a decent chance of making it in, especially with them beating in points 4 to Team Belushio. They have a solid chance as long as they win out. That is imperative. They're both on a 2-game win streak, so we'll have to see how that goes. Next up, we got the Codfather at 5-12. They're making plenty of trades, so we'll have to see how that plays. And then we have Pack Nicely at 4-13, and then Team Lobster at 3-14. And we're gonna have a word with Team Lobster in a bit, who has an league worst 2,700 points through 17 games. Absolutely embarrassing. Fans aren't liking it. I'd be scared to be watching a game at the Team Lobster arena. But here we go. Before we get into the final notes, I'm gonna send y'all guys to the Active Insight, and after that, we'll have the final notes. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope you enjoy the Active Insight. It's the Active Insight. Hello, guys, and welcome to the Active Insight. I'm here with the owner of Team Lobster, Noah. How are you doing today?
And I'm doing good. Kyle. Thanks for having me on the show.
Where are you right now?
Me and the team have just decided to, get a little head start on some rest and relaxation. We're at an undisclosed location, tropical, of course. Just getting some rays, some time off.
Wow, I could see the palm trees. That's why I was so. There's still like 3 weeks and the playoffs to go in the season.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to apologize if there's any issues with my internet. Out here, it's not as good as it would be in my office, so there might be a little disconnect happening at some point. But anyway, 3 weeks left in the season, sure, but we've the Team Lobster organization has had a lot of tough runs this year. Our record's obviously not very good at all, and we've had a lot of difficulties with injury and riots in the stands and everything. So we just want to take a break, just like give the players and the staff like a rest to regroup and just have a good time. And that's why I think that as an organization, Team Lobster is one to fear in the future, because we know how to take care of our people. And right now we might be in a valley, but soon we're going to be on the top of the mountain. So we know how to play the long game and take care of the ones that we care about.
I do. It's a lot of respect. You took out all the staff and the players, even Zach LaVine, who's been your most injured player, out to undisclosed, redacted tropical area.
Yes.
That's cool and all, but what do you think the fans think of this? Do you think you're losing support for the team?
Fans aren't happy.
No.
Fans aren't happy, and frankly, the way that we see it is that it's players and team first before the fans.
Wow.
Sometimes the fans can get in the way of success, and looking ahead to 2025, 2024, 2025, we just need to focus on being a better team, and the fans aren't going to help us get there.
Oh my God, I can't believe you said that, but that definitely led to a decrease, level of attendance at your games, and the riots were just the start of it. But that is incendiary comments right there. I was going to ask you if there's a focus to bring fans back, but you just answered it for me. You're looking for wins first, which I do think some fans are looking for, but that's
the way that we see it, Kyle. That's the way that we see it. Honestly, obviously as a team we have not performed this year. We've had a lot of injuries. We've made some poor managerial decisions that have led to what turned into a 5-game losing streak is now a 10-game losing streak, and that just can't happen. The fans don't want to see it. We don't want to see it. And moving forward, if we can improve as a team and turn our winning record around into a winning record, I think that the fans will come back. No matter what decisions that we make. We have some loyal fans out there, and some not so loyal fans out there, and the ones that we really admire and hold dear are going to come back when we start winning next year.
Okay, I mean, I respect, and definitely the loyal fans will stick with you, but it seems like you've had to hire an extreme amount of security for these games. Do you have any estimates on the amount of money that you've pumped into security?
I can't disclose that information on this show.
Okay. Maybe we'll show some pictures here, but there has been some upgraded security at the Team Lobster Stadium, and even with the low amount of fans, weapons have been seen to be leaking through security. So we'll have to talk about that later. But it's good to see that you need some public relations people, but it's good to see your focus on getting the dubs for your fans rather than actually catering to your fans. But we'll have to see and wait for next year for that. We'll see if the product is there. On to the next question. Relating to this, many teams and owners in this league view your team as a tanking loser franchise. Do you have any remarks to say about that?
Yeah, I've heard the rumors, the talk going around the league right now, and frankly, they're not entirely wrong. I mean, we're at the bottom of the league. Apologies, but as I was saying, we're at the bottom of the league. We've lost 10 games in a row at this point, maybe more, and there's a lot of teams out there that thought that we were going to be someone to fear in the playoff time, but we just haven't performed, and we've lost 10 games in a row, and that's just unacceptable. And that's why we're kind of coming from a new start. We're taking vacation, giving everybody some time in the sun. But it's true. We're not a good team. This year we're not a good team, and we need to change that.
Okay, that's I like that. At least you're definitely going to make your players want to re-sign with you, because you do definitely have some talent with DeJounte Murray, Tyrese Halliburton, even Draymond, who definitely likes to beat people up. So,
well, we love that. We love that energy on our team. We like that physicality. But yeah, we were very unlucky with injuries this year. We have some really fantastic players on our team that have not seen almost any minutes this season, especially when it came down to crucial moments. Draymond was out for a couple of weeks. Clay was out for a couple of weeks. Zach LaVine's barely seen any playing time this year. Halliburton was out for a couple of weeks. It's tough to see. It's really tough to see. And moving forward, I think that Team Lobster is going to make some moves. We're in talks with multiple teams about moving some people around, but
Oh wow.
yeah, I think we're looking towards a brighter future for Team Lobster.
Okay. To continue, I don't mean to layer on, but to continue on this line of questioning, the Mog Squad recently released a statement, I think a couple days ago, saying, given your blatant attempt to tank for a top prospect in the next draft, can you even name a single eligible player for the 2024 draft?
See, the Mog Squad, like they're one of those teams that likes to talk a lot, and frankly, I don't want to answer the Mog Squad's question because it's an organization that has a history of abuses within the league, with abuses within the organization. So for them to come out here and send a question like that is kind of it's incendiary, it's disrespectful. So
Damn.
I'm gonna have to pass on that one.
Okay. Do you have more to say about the Mog Squad? Maybe about their rebranding or something like that?
I do respect the Mog Squad's rebranding. Honestly, I forget what their last team name was because it was so forgettable.
Oh shit!
But the Mog Squad, it's a good way to go, and I think it's good for the league. I think it's good for publicity and marketing. It's a really marketable team, the Mog Squad. But yeah, the Mog Squad and the Lobster and Team Lobster, generally have good relations, but like any other competitor, we just want to keep an eye on them, and we want to keep them at arm's length. But a lot of respect for the Mog Squad, much respect, and best of luck to the Mog Squad going forward this season.
All right, maybe a future trade partner right there. Here's another question that I've been seeing throughout the owners chatting around about. A lot of the owners bring up your name with the Codfather, trashing on y'all guys. It's either Codfather's trash or Team Lobster just is in the dumpster. Do you think these teams are comparable?
I think they are. I think they very much are. I mean, just like looking at records, like the Codfather is 4-12 right now. We're 3-13. They're both bad records. I can't say that my team is better than the Codfather. I can't say that we're going to perform better next year, but I can say that as an organization, we have more unity, we have more morale, we have a better philosophy within the team and the players and the staff. And the Codfather, takes those things for granted. So performance-wise, while Codfather's on top right now, I think next year could be a really interesting year to see how our two teams play out. And regarding the talk around the league about Codfather this, Team Lobster that, the managers, the owner of Team the Codfather he's a great guy. He's a great guy. I can't trash his name, but he's leading a doomed organization, I think.
Wow. Okay. All that praise just for you to say that he's leading a doom organization.
I mean, it's a shame. It's just a shame, man. I mean, like, the owner, I can't name any names just because, we don't want to have any legal issues, but the owner of the Codfather, we go back a long time. He's a great guy, but I wish he was, in a different venture. I think that the Codfather is just not an organization or a team that has a future, and it's just a shame to see him kind of, have to go through leading this.
Wow. I will add on though. Do you see the Codfather Stadium and their arena and how they treat their fans as something you could learn from? I mean, they grow their own cod at the stadium for everybody to eat.
Yes, and I've we've tried the lobster thing. We've tried having fresh lobster at the stadium, but the truth is that it's too expensive. It's just not something we're willing to shell out. And I've tried the Codfather cod. It's kind of mediocre at best.
Oh wow.
And I don't think that we've done a lot of studies at the stadium just to kind of see if people like having seafood at a fantasy basketball game. And no one likes that. No one wants seafood at a fantasy basketball game.
Huh. Oh, good to know. I mean, I'm excited to see what your arena has to bring next season. It obviously seems like this season there's not going to be anybody besides the workers there, so it'll be exciting to see. Maybe we'll see some ads.
I mean, like, the stadium might be, struggling. Our team might be struggling, but I think within the Lobster organization and the Team Lobster family, as we like to call it, and Team Lobster as a cultural phenomenon in our region. I think that
Yeah.
the name is so strong. We have fans, we have loyal staff. So Team Lobster's not going anywhere, guys. You can shit on us all you want. And granted, this year it is warranted. Our team is bad, and we're not going to shy away from that. But to count us out in the future is just wrong. It's just wrong.
It definitely speaks to your guys' heart to stick with it. Coming towards the end here, is Team Lobster going to make moves at the trade deadline? I think you were saying how you were in talks with some teams. Do you expect it? The deadline's at the end of this upcoming week, so.
Yeah, I can't get into many details about that, but we are definitely looking to move some people around. We're looking to make some moves. It's something that has to happen. Some of our team has not been performing the way we want them. That being said, the guys on our squad have been moving around teams. So like Evan Fournier's in a new spot, Kyle Lowry's in a new spot. And that's not to say that they're going to perform and excel, but we're still talking to other teams in Badger and thinking things over. But you can expect to see something happen in the next few days. Okay,
wow. Are you thinking about trading one of those 2025 draft picks?
It's definitely up in the air. I mean, even today, there's been a lot of speculation and controversy regarding those draft picks. The value of them isn't quite, their future value isn't quite clear on how much of an impact they're going to make in that 2025 draft. Obviously, it's going to be pretty major, but it's something that we've been considering, and it's tough to say because with a healthy team, the Lobster could do much better than we did than we did this year. So it's going to be confusing. I do have a question about the 2025 draft, Kyle.
Oh, spit.
Just a clarifying question, and maybe people already know this, but is your draft spot determined by your record next season?
Yes, it's determined by the record next season.
Okay.
Hopefully that didn't lead you to tanking this season.
No.
Okay, good. But it is determined next season, and it is not a snake draft. So if you're first overall pick, you'll be the first pick in the second round.
I see.
And
then
go ahead.
So it's going to be, and just to kind of summarize for the whole of that, it's going to be the rookie draft, and no, it's going to be the keeper draft, and then we're going to draft rookies as well.
It's going to be all lumped together.
Oh, I see.
But you could go for a rookie, but since it's all going to be lumped together, the rookies probably won't come out till like 6th, 7th, 8th round or something like that. And I will say there's going to be a way more detailed video over the summer where I'll have images and diagrams showing how it'll work. The big thing to take away is just remember you're keeping 6 players. One of them has to be either your rookie from the previous season or a player under the age of 20 or 20 or younger. And then the 5 others are whoever you want to save. So, you could save Zach LaVine, Tyrese Halliburton, DeJounte if you wanted, and so on. Or even Kyle Lowry if you're feeling saucy.
I mean, he brings a great, energy to the team. He's got, a nice package, and that is really valuable to some of our teammates. So it's something to consider.
Some might say a voluptuous package, but
right.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure those were true.
That is definitely something that we take into consideration when crafting our squad.
All right. Before I give you the floor, one final question. Do you think there's going to be other teams that make moves? We saw Riley and Webb almost complete a trade today. The picks were a little not balanced. But do you see any other teams making any moves at the deadline?
Yeah, I mean, I can see it happening. I mean, today was just the start. I think that after people saw that egregious trade that was proposed this morning, they're going to be inspired to make moves of their own. I mean, Team Lobster included. So yeah, I think we're going to see some interesting stuff. It's going to be a different season next year, I think, for sure.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right, now I'll give you the floor. You have as much time as you want. You can say anything. Just know these are your words.
They're my words, yes, of course. Well, I just want to thank you, Kyle, of course, for having me on the show. It was really nice of you to have the Codfather on a couple weeks ago. I wasn't thrilled about, the things that he was saying on the show, and I, don't have a lot of respect for what he said, but, I think that the fact that you give the floor and a voice to, all the people in the league, I think that's really admirable, and I thank you for all of the things that you're doing to get everyone involved. I'm a big fan of the show. I watch it every week. So it's a big honor to be here. And, just in general, I think this league's a great league. I think that we've got some really talented managers, some really amazing matchups week to week, and I'm really happy with how things are going. That being said, I think that all the rumors and the talk about Team Lobster are, they're haters. There's a lot of haters out there, and I just need the league to know that Team Lobster is taking all of this as constructive criticism. Right, we're gonna move on from this year into next year, come out as a better team. We're gonna use all of this hate and all this negativity, and use that as a motivation for crafting the best team that we can in the 2024-2025 season. And that's gonna. I think it's really gonna come out with some really nice effects. But while you guys are up there in like the Northeast, in America, just kind of grinding in the cold right now, just know that Team Lobster's lounging in the tropics. We're taking time to improve our mental health, our physical health. We're bonding as a team. We're swimming in the ocean. We're going on hikes together. While you guys are in the snow. I heard it's snowing up there. So yeah, I mean, I just want to say good luck to everyone else with the rest of the season. Just know that likely if you play the Team Lobster this year, you're gonna have an easy win for the week. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks, but maybe we won't end up having that 14th pick. Maybe we'll be somewhere like 12, 13, but it's not our year, and we know that. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right. Well, thank you, Noah. I mean, yeah, the snow is awful. I'm definitely a bit jealous of those sunny beaches that are behind you. But with that,
sunny Discord sponsored beaches. We're actually at Discord Beach. If anyone's familiar with Discord Beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard a fan by the name Mr. Funnyboy 44 or something like that goes there often.
Yeah, she's a big fan of Discord Beach. we bought it out for a couple weeks, so it's not, you can't come here. But no, I definitely recommend it for any teams looking to have a nice little off season.
Okay, that's awesome. I might have to take you up on that offer during the off season. I still have some of that grind to go come playoffs. But with that being said, I'll see you later, Team Lobster, and our fabulous owner Noah. We bid you adieu.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that active insight. I'm glad Noah of Team Lobster can join us, even if it was from a beach out in Discord Beach. I don't even know where the fuck that is. Funny Boy apparently goes there. So if you can find a Funny Boy near you, Colin Fagan, you'll have to ask him. But here's the final notes, and we have another trade. Wow, as I was saying, the Codfather's not done. He trades Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Pool Party Jordan Poole for a 2025 second round pick. We were just talking about how Team Army Junior might slip through the cracks and lose their playoff spot. This might boost their their team back into it while Embiid recovers. Wow. Team Codfather absolutely blowing it up. But as our final notes, thank you guys for joining. The trade deadline's not done yet. I'm sure we'll have a decent amount more trades to go. It's only Monday, and we have until Sunday to make our final trades. As we'll take a little segment, me speaking for the Void. It's going to be tough for me to trade. I feel like we have a pretty complete team, but I am fielding offers for players like Steven Adams and Robert Williams. If you're a team in the bottom 6, trying to just build for next season. And then on the flip side, I have players like DiVincenzo and Vince Williams who you could trade for now, and they're putting up 20-point a night games. So that's enough for me. I don't want to make this too biased. It's always tough being a commissioner and a player, and an owner at the same time. So there's that. But hope you guys enjoyed. Last note, I almost forgot. I think next week's report is going to also be delayed. I'm sorry for these past couple of weeks being delayed to Tuesday. I'm going to be sorry this time, though, because it's going to be delayed till Wednesday. I'm sorry. I'll try and get it Tuesday, but it's looking like Wednesday. I'm going to be gone this weekend. So that just means maybe I'll have more to report, or it'll be another really short one. I'm glad I'm missing this one and not like playoff time. It's week 18, important week, but we still have 2 more weeks after that with great reports, and we'll have more active insights. And there are rumors that we have a lab scientist working on a formal report for us. We'll have to see and wait and see when that report gets done, but there are some names coming up in there that I'd be scared if I was named in. But we'll see y'all next week. Ciao.